Alright guys, so the layout finally dropped for World Cup and I wanted to put out a first impressions video, so let's just jump right into it. You can see I've been a little bit busy. Okay, so with the layout itself, so literally this just dropped today. What I did was actually go ahead and just try to find what are the different shots. I'm going to be giving you my first impressions. I'm going to probably be wrong on some stuff. I'm just going to say that now. A lot of times, like I've said before, you get out on the layout, something that you thought would work doesn't work at all. So it's something that it's just how paintball is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through basically, like I said, my first impressions. And this weekend we'll be playing and practicing, so we'll see what works and what doesn't. But let's just jump right into it. First three I wanted to go through were, I'm just going to kind of go from the back to the front of the field. Some of them are going to be a little bit off, but yeah, let's just jump right into it. So first things first, it looks like, so we don't really have a back center. We have these two bunkers here. This can... From first impressions, it looks like there might be a possibility of people doubling this up or doubling up this tower. Both of these have pretty decent shots on either side of the field, the can being better, so you can see how many shots are going across, so you can lane and shoot. So let's say, let me turn it this way so I can see it better. So first thing, if you shoot, it's going to be kind of threading the needle, but you will be able to shoot this gap a little bit right there. Also shooting across, you can shoot at the snake corner, and that is going to be over the top of this brick here. And then if you follow along here, we can actually stop people moving into this God bunker here, going into that little mini W, and also if they were trying to come up from the snake corner. The next thing, if we follow this black line here, you can see as well that you can also do a decent job of stopping the guy going on the outside or the inside of the bunker to get into the snake. Now, it's going to be a little bit difficult for this guy just because you have the pin in the way. So, yes, you can shoot up over the top of it, but he's going to be able to get underneath there. So if somebody went off the break into that brick, it's going to be hard to stop them from that bunker. If we look on the left side, you can shoot, again, over the top of this wing, shoot up over that, and you'll be able to drop it into the Dorito corner. These are blind shots. You're going to be having to shoot over some stuff to shoot this. This one you should be able to see just fine because the wing, it drops down like that. You can see how it shades differently for that part. So that's the part where, let's see if I can do it with my hand. So if this is the top of the bunker, it shades or kind of goes down like that at an angle. So you can shoot at that little mini Dorito. So let's go into this Aztec first. So if we look on the inside, so let's say that you're already there, you're able to kind of stop the Dorito side moving up from here, and I don't think that you're going to have that same shot because of this can going up further. Also, you can shoot up on the inside and shoot both of these Doritos here. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more effective for this guy, probably to be looking snake side. Off the break, I would have this guy probably shoot the inside, so that way you can shoot this guy, because as you come off, there's a gap there, and then you also have, once you're here, you can shoot up over the top of that pin and drop it in on the inside or shoot the outside to maybe stop that guy from delaying to get into there. So looking here, though, you can drop paint over the top of the other Aztec into that cake. If there is someone there, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that go to that cake because it is the smaller one, but we'll see at practice. And shooting over the top, you can shoot the corner. Again, it's going to be a blind shot, but because it's an Aztec, you should be able to be pretty comfortable there. And you can also stop the snake from moving on the outside. Now, the inside shot is going to be blocked out, so that is something that you're going to want to watch out for. This guy's probably going to do a better job of shutting that side down. Getting into this Dorito, so these two bunkers should be pretty easy to make. I mean, they're right there, so you literally just take a couple steps out and come up. Now, if someone is really quick and they get a good ball there, I mean, there's nothing you can do about that, but... So this Dorito here, it's going to be a little bit hard to get here if you have someone shooting across, going into this tower or this Aztec like we had seen. If you look inside, you do have a couple shots. They're not going to be super effective shots because it is going to be a far shot to get across there into the snake side. The heads up is going to be good if they're stuck here. Now, if you can trap them in that little mini Dorito there, that's going to be good because you can kind of shoot. Now, if they get into this Dorito here, you're going to get blocked out from this. Now, you have a blind shot that you could try, but if they get low enough, I think you should be able to come up and go into that 50 wing there. That wing comes down on the outside of the Dorito side there. All right, let's jump into the next set of bunkers. So, of course, down the tape we have, you can shoot down the tape because that wing drops down that way. That's going to help with your back player if they're here to shoot down tape and make sure that they can contain that wire. But they should be able to stand up over the top as well, shoot back at that Dorito coming across. It's going to be a further shot as we keep going across, but it could be good just to, like, you're shooting and then you stand up and shoot and kind of wrap the outside, or stand up over the top of it and shoot these other shots to stop that guy. If you shoot on the inside, you can shoot the inside, or I'm sorry, the outside of that can, so that's going to prevent him from going out that way. And going up into this other can, so if this guy's trying to come up here, if you guys had a code that this guy is going to be moving, this person here can shoot up over the top and drop paint in there, so that could be good. Again, I'm kind of just going with it. I found these shots and I'm learning with you guys as I'm doing this video. So yeah, and then you do have a really far shot going across, dropping into both of these bunkers here. So I don't know if this is going to be super effective. We'll get into this cake in a second, but I don't think it's going to be that effective. Again, I could be wrong because you do have this brick in the way, but it's such a small bunker, and then trying to get across into here might be kind of difficult. Next thing is this other can. This other can is pretty good. You can see the black lines here. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. So you can still shoot the inside, and then you do have a blind shot on the outside of the Dorito corner there. Shooting, you should actually be able to get a blind shot onto that little mini Dorito as well over the top, and then you can kind of control this guy here. So this could be a good spot as well for your back player, or even if someone is in the center and they move up into there, that could be good as well, because they can stop that movement in there. So if you have a team that's pushing really hard on the Dorito side, that could be good. This other Aztec here seems like it's pretty good as well. I mean, this guy is going to be able to kind of just lock in and shoot this gap. He can shoot across and shoot this outside part. Now, if the guy goes on the inside, you're not going to be able to see that because this wing is going to be blocking you out. But you do have this denial here. So this could actually be a good spot for shutting down that side as well. This guy isn't going to be necessarily shooting this way just because you have two blind shots. And you can shoot at the snake, but I would say if this guy is the front guy, like let's say you had him go into here, I would probably just try to send this guy into here and into the 50 snake as quickly as you could. But if this is maybe the back player or like the mid player behind the front player, this could be good for him to shoot this way. Okay, next we have the some of the snake side shots. So this baby Dorito isn't as good. It should be pretty easy to get around here. You just got to make sure that you put that guy in, and you got to be a little bit careful of this guy here, but I think you should be able to block him out with this Dorito here. And you do have a blind shot. They have the same shot back, remember that, on that can. And then you do have some crossfield shots. But even if someone's looking this way, if you can stop their stream, and then by the time you dive in, that's when the paint's going to come across. So this little mini Dorito, I think, is going to be a good way of getting further up into this Dorito side. Getting there off the break, I think, should be okay. It is a further run, but you do have some stuff in the way that the guys have to worry about. So this is definitely something I'm going to be trying this weekend. This Dorito that's further up, you're not going to be able to stop anything on the tape, so don't expect that if you do go there. You can shoot down your mirror as well as the outside and inside of this Dorito back here. But those inside shots are going to be a little bit better, but they're not as good. So I would use this as kind of like a delay to get into that wing, or try to figure out a way to maybe get over to the Dorito or something else further up the field, because this isn't going to be as effective. The snake side, though, this guy back here should be able to contain the snake tape pretty well. It's a tall cake, so he's able to stand up. and shoot down the tape. So if the guy is trying to come around this way, he'll be able to see him because they're all in line with each other. So if he tries to wrap around, if the snake was outset a little bit more, he wouldn't be able to see that. But because of the way that they're all kind of lined up, he'll be able to see that movement there and stop that guy. If he goes on the inside, this guy can still stand up, kind of like what we saw with the Dorito side. He can stand up and shoot down on this movement in here. So I feel like these two guys are going to be kind of more on their feet and shooting, and then constantly shooting the wrap to shoot the other spots inside here, because there is so much happening on this snake now for this layout. If he stands up, he can shoot down on this Aztec here and this Aztec here, the can, and he does have some shots across field on the Dorito. So this could actually be a good bunker to get to send someone that's a strong gunner and just give them a lot of paint, and they'll be able to stop people from moving up the snake, and then they can kind of stand up every so often, shoot inside, and then come back to the tape, shoot inside, and come back to the tape. So that way they can kind of contain the people from moving on the inside, and if you can force them to the outside, then your other teammate should be able to pick that guy up. Okay, so speaking of snakes, so the black lines here are from the 50 snake here. This guy should be able to do some damage on the inside, and I think once you clear this side out, if he can wrap and even kind of crawl down and then hop across into their brick, that's going to be ideal. But if someone gets into the snake on this side and can get here, they can do a lot of damage. So they can shoot the guy in the back that might be at the 50 wing on the Dorito side, shooting inside, and he can shoot the other wing, as well as the mini Dorito. He can come across and just do a lot of damage from here. So I think that this is going to be important to get to if you're a snake player. If you're in here, to move all the way up. If they're denying you that move, if you can get to here, you can still do some damage. You're just going to have to kind of work for the next move up there. But this snake 3, I guess, is what it would be, or snake 2, your snake 1, whatever it is that you guys call this, is going to be pretty effective, as well as with the little mini W's are going to sit a little bit taller, so you can sit a little bit more comfortable in the snake there. These two center Aztecs, these two center towers are going to be pretty good with kind of shutting down whatever side it is that you want. This guy, if you post on the snake side, you can deny all that movement there. They'd have to come on the inside and bunker you and trade with you, which isn't a bad thing, because if you have a guy in the snake, then he can just go up the field and finish it out. So if you can kind of bait them into coming for you, that's good. And then if you shoot on the Dorito side, you can shoot these gaps here and stop them from moving up. Now, if you miss and the guy gets into here and he can come up into here and here, it's not going to be good for you or your team. Just because like that would be your job if that's what you were looking at. Same thing with this guy. Either of these is going to be able to shut down whatever side it is that you're looking at, depending on where they're at, of course. But like if they're stuck here, this guy is going to do really, really good because he can shoot that gap there. This one, if he doesn't see them go and doesn't shoot this gap, this guy's going to be able to get into there pretty easily. Whereas this one is going to be able to see both sides of the bunker. These guys are going to be able to see the Dorito guy go. The only downside is if for some reason he can get to this wing without this guy seeing, it's not going to be good because he'll be able to snap out and not have a far distance to shoot that guy. This Dorito up here is not going to be as effective. You can see that you'd have to stand up and shoot down on that can. Shoot this other can is good, and then shoot the Aztec here. I would say probably get up into the wing or try to dive into the 50 wing there. The reason why I'm saying get into that 50 wing is you can see how many shots now you have. So on the inside, and it's such a big bunker that you can play either side. So if they're shooting the outside, you'll be able to shoot from the inside of this wing and still do some damage. Once you clear the side out and you can actually play the wrap, it's such a big bunker again that you're able to shoot this Dorito, wrap, and shoot that Dorito. If you're on the 50 line, you're able to shoot the Aztec, the can. Now, if he tucks in, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Really with anyone, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But if you can at least push them over so that the snake guy can shoot him. And then also you have some cross shots over the top of this wing into that Aztec, into that cake and then the tall cake. So this bunker is going to be really good. I think it is going to be kind of a race to the 50s for this this field layout, which is a good thing. It makes it exciting, makes it fun to play. This center tower is going to be good, especially if you have some taller guys. So that way they can shoot and kind of figure out where they want to shoot. I think that this is going to be a good bunker to get to. You can see how many shots you have on either side. So this guy, if he's good on his, if he has his head on a swivel, he'll be able to see both sides and see what he needs to do. So he might need to be shooting one side while looking the other way, and vice versa. So that way he's making sure that he can stop whoever it is that he needs to. And then in here we have this wing, which isn't as effective. I mean, yeah, you can shoot either side there, here, but it's going to be kind of difficult to do anything here. So these bounce shots I'm going to be trying this weekend. I'm not saying that these are definitely going to work. It's just some that I saw, because sometimes you play and realize, oh, I might be able to do this or that, and kind of go from there. But first one, we'll go with this blue one here. From this Aztec, I think you should be able to bounce it off this pin into this center tower here to stop that guy. Same thing with this Dorito. You'll be able to shoot off that pin, I think, into this other tower. From this Dorito, it seems like you should be able to bounce it off that pin into that brick. Now, I'm not expecting the guy to be hanging back here in the snake. I think he's going to be further up trying to get into the 50, but if you guys have a code that says that this guy is inside, then I think that might be something you want to try. The other one is from this tower right here. I want to try this. I'm not sure if it's going to work exactly the way I think it will, but just by the angle of this this brick, and again, it's kind of iffy. I'll try it and see, but I think you should be able to bounce it off here into at least behind the snake player if he's trying to back up, or by the angle of it, it might actually be able to go into that snake one, which would be really effective at stopping that move, because if he gets into your snake one, then that's not going to be good. The last one here is from this can. Off that tower, I think it might be able to bounce this way into the wing. Now, I would recommend that this player is probably playing more on the outside anyway. So this is only going to be effective if for some reason he's posted inside, like if he feels comfortable because of this huge bunker here. I think that this should be able to bounce into there. And the last thing that I wanted to show you guys here is I saw this spot here basically. I think you should be able to kind of ghost in here and lane from there and then delay into either one of these bunkers or break out somewhere else. But I think that from here, you should have some good shots. I mean, you can see from that spot, if I just kind of pull up right away, you have some bunkers in the middle, so they'd have to be running and gunning out and shooting back into you here. So you just have to keep your eye out. But I think you should be able to get some shots off on the snake corner. Anyone going into the snake, if they come kind of shallow, you'd have to make sure that your lane is adjusted, but you can still shoot all of that, whether they go into the god or into the snake. Shooting up over the top of this pin drops it right into this area here. And if you kind of float this way a little bit, you can shoot in between the pin and the tower. You can shoot right back at the guy going into that Aztec. Same thing with the guy going into the can. Then that first Dorito there. And if you back off a little bit, if you pull up right here, you can shoot at the Dorito corner. Ignore the X's. That was something I was doing before. But this could be good to kind of just throw some paint there and then break out. If you have someone that you're playing against that might be really quick, it could be something effective. So that's basically my first impressions. Just wanted to get this out for you guys. What do you guys think? Is there anything that you saw that maybe I missed, or maybe I'm wrong? I'm okay being wrong. Again, this is just my first impressions of the layout. I think it's going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be a race to the 50. I think that if you can control either 50, you should be able to win from there. But these guys in the center could be good to deny some stuff there. But overall, I'm excited for the event. If you guys are going to be at World Cup, make sure that you say hi, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. But as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.